You look great. You sound great.
And so do you.
Thank you, ma'am. It's 2:50. Do you want to just get started then?
I'm fine with getting started.
Okay, great. First of all, when the quarantining began last spring, you and Sophie and who was the other girl? Sophie and Sailor. What was her name? Morgan.
Oh, Morgan.
Sailor.
Yeah.
So I shifted films on you.
I'm sorry, you threw me.
I'm sorry.
Sophia in this movie. Okay.
It was Sophia, Morgan, and you, and it was on the phone, and it's just, like, I don't know, from my perspective, so not optimal, for hearing and getting a flow going. It's so, and I really, as much as I liked Blow the Man Down, it was an excuse to get you on the podcast. So
thank you.
I just love your work. And sure. So when this one came around, I was like, unseen, I said, Margo, because I feel like I want to be able to have a successful experience, this time. From a technical standpoint, especially.
Well, it's nice to talk. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
It's hard to do what I do, and I'm sure there are others also where, especially if there's a conference call, it's hard to establish a rhythm and a connection, though, I thought it went well despite that. And it's still on Amazon. Those out there listening, you may want to check out that movie as well. But this one, as I said, I asked for you from the start. Then I saw it and I was like,
wow, it's a really surprising little jewel, isn't it?
It is, and it stands up to the big jewels. It stands up every bit as much to, I assume just bigger films, whatever that means, or to anybody. But congratulations, because I was blubbering.
Good.
By the end of it, of course, because I have a heart. And just after the last few weeks or months or years in that context, and I think you know what I'm referring to see to a film with heart and about human beings that we can all relate to, and just seeing people grow and have compassion is refreshing. And welcome.
Thank you. I thought it was a refreshing film, a story that you have heard, but with a completely fresh eyes and a fresh look, and very honest. I'm very, very happy to have been part of this movie. I really am. And get to work with all of my buddies. So it's fun.
Were there other cast members that you were already had real relation?
We all knew each other.
It was like that. Okay.
Lois
and then
Smith, Judy Greer, Steve Zahn, Stephen Root. Yeah, we're all old friends.
We can call this group rightfully and appropriately indie luminaries of the indie world. If not,
that's good. Yeah, good.
Look, they're I don't use that phrase in any way to kind of compare. Just so you know, the film has that spirit like independent films have, where they're dealing with stories and characters.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very hard to get that kind of movie. You don't get that kind of movie in the big picture. I mean, this is the big picture. This is where you get these movies.
You did get, once in a while, Dead Man Walking comes along, right?
Yeah, well, that was a long time ago and in a different time.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
But I'm just another plug in there. And you were on, of course, The Americans, which I just want to say is because my son, his mother was on that show on one arc. She was on that show. She was the African American actress who was bludgeoned for freaking out about, she was getting secrets to. Do you remember that arc?
I believe. When come in?
It was like season, I'm guessing 3, around there, something like that.
3, season
something
3
in there.
season two and three, I sort of disappeared.
Oh,
I mean, I
right.
was there because, but I had taken another job
I see. Okay.
because they didn't give me a contract fast enough.
They
So
didn't hit you
but
over the
but
head
they
with a
did. They
vase.
finally did.
Okay. But Uncle Frank, I keep getting distracted by myself, and I do want to make sure people see this film. You play Mama Bledsoe. Is Bledsoe?
But yeah,
Yeah, the mother of let's say the main character, Frank. Who? Here's a question for you that I was thinking. Why? Maybe you're not the right person to ask, but I'm sure you have your opinion about it, and that is the film is it based on a book, a novel, or a memoir?
it's based on Alan Ball's father.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay. The guy, you mean the father?
I mean not completely, but no, I think I can't remember the exact, but it's something to do with Alan Ball's father.
Okay, but he chose to have this niece, the niece of Uncle Frank, the niece, hence the name Uncle Frank. This coming of age woman. She's and I want to make sure I get everybody's names right, so I'm going to cheat a little bit, but Sophie Lillis.
Yeah, that's
right?
why I got
who plays
confused.
Beth.
Yeah,
Beth
yeah.
Bledsoe. So she loves her Uncle Frank, but what they decided to make it from her narration. She narrates the stories from her POV. What went into that decision? Do you even know, or am I putting you on
I
the
have no
spot again?
idea. I have no idea.
Okay, I'm just putting you on the spot left and right, Margo. I apologize.
That's okay. I don't mind being
But
put on the spot. I'm not scared.
But well, it works really well in this case, and I'm sure that I'll arrive at some understanding of why. But anyway, the story is that she loves her Uncle Frank, who has a kind of a complicated relationship with her family, right? And they're in the South. They're in
North Carolina, South Carolina, North Carolina.
And it emerges that, and I think this is not a spoiler to say that he is a homosexual and has not come out, and goes to actually great lengths to hide his homosexuality. But so he lives in New York City. He's a professor, and Beth ultimately gets into NYU and moves to New York, and of course discovers this. But it's a really just a very, very great story, and everybody sort of everybody had an Uncle Frank. Whether you knew it or not.
Yeah, maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe I did. I know that one of my great uncles did wear eye makeup, but I think that was just because he thought he had pretty eyes.
And kudos to him for being so, confident in himself to do that. Right? You grew up in Texas, so you grew up in the South. Right?
Yeah. I grew up in Texas. I grew up on the southern side of Texas, meaning the east side. But Texas really is a place of its own.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Its own.
But yes, it is south. It is definitely south.
Right. I guess it's the west, it's the south.
It's not really. I think of it as the south because I live in East Texas. I mean, I'm from East Texas. Go west and it is the west. Because it is about 2 days away to get to the west part of Texas.
Well, I had an Uncle Frank too, so I didn't have the same relationship that Beth has with her. But you already said that you were friends with pretty much everybody in the cast.
Well, all of us, each of us have worked at Lois Smith. I'd done a movie with, who I love more than, Judy Greer I'd done a movie with. Steve Zahn I'd done a movie with. Stephen Root I knew very well, though I had never worked with him.
You two were great together. He's of course, plays your husband.
Yeah, It's a fabulous group of character actors, and then you have those other people who are spectacular. Paul Bettany and Peter
that's the question. MacD's key. I'm going to have to correct myself in this. I'll make sure I get it for the intro of this.
Okay, good.
I love him though, And
And
so many times.
yeah, no, I was thinking, Sophie, who I thought was
Sophie
just
Lillis.
fabulous. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a case where it seems like all the planets aligned. Is that the right expression? Because
I believe
you
that's
had a
what.
great, yeah,
Yeah, and
you have a great,
yeah. I'm sorry.
it's
Start
okay. It's
again.
Zoom. It's Zoom. It's the script. It's the cast. It's the art direction.
Yes,
They
beautiful.
get just, yeah, they get just the right tone. It's not, even I will say, I mean, you're also in Mrs. America. Did I get the
Yes.
name of the? I did watch
Right.
the whole thing, by the way, before I knew I was going to talk to you, because that's another great stellar cast too. But boy, talk about art direction. Where I kind of appreciated that this one was really just laid off of that. It was just the right amount, and it feels like you definitely feel like you're in an earlier time. Just and
Yes.
it's really it's
I think that's Alan Ball too. I think, really Alan Ball. And Alan Ball picked these actors and, I think he got most everybody he wanted to do it because everybody wanted to be in an Alan Ball movie.
that
So
makes
that's why
sense.
we were there.
That makes sense. Had you worked with Alan before?
Never. Mm-mm. I don't, and maybe there are one of us who had. I think Lois might have, but uh, uh, I I'd always wanted to.
Well, yeah. And she was, as you said, she's just unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, you
All
need
that
to
theater.
steal. I like to steal things from Lois Smith. I
Well,
steal. I
what's an
steal.
example of what might be a subtle example of that?
A subtle example is that she put into her head that she didn't see very well. I get so that and so she would get very caught up into little tiny details close up. And I thought, oh, that's just delicious. I think I can use that.
Do you think
Lois wouldn't care.
she's the only one I've worked with in the sense that she's been on here. See, that's for me getting somebody like Lois to meet Lois Smith. I was nervous around her. I could talk to Werner Herzog I mean, I can have major people, with these enormous careers come on, but then Lois Smith, I'm like, oh my, getting the
Well,
shakes.
yeah, I get it. She's not
She's
scary. She's not a scary person at all, but she is an icon.
yeah, and you just don't want to, I don't know, say the wrong thing, or just slip up and screw up, which I did anyway, but that's okay. She was very lovely about it, and but your Mama, the name, that's the only thing I saw was that she went by Mama. That's mom, right? But it's just a
It's
kind of
Mammal.
local
It's
Mama.
Mammal.
Is that supposed to be like a variation on ma'am or mom
Yeah,
or?
it's a name in the South that a lot of grandmothers had. Mammal.
So it's sort of like a Bubba.
My grandmother and grandfather on my mother's side were two mom and pawpaw.
Pawpaw.
Pawpaw. So this is Mamaw. And my husband's mother to her grandchildren was Mawmaw.
I see.
Yeah, it's
I
very.
assumed it was I assumed it was sort of a nickname or something like,
It's you see it a lot
right.
in the South. Yeah.
But is it on her birth certificate is my question.
No.
Okay. That answers my question. But
No.
it is like brother might be Bubba. That's another
It
example.
might be Bubba, my older brother. I still call Bubba sometimes, and he's 82.
Do you spend any part of the year anymore in Texas? Or do you have a home in Texas? Do you?
No, but we go down there. My husband's a Texan too. I went to my 50th high school reunion last September. It was wonderfully fun.
It was.
say our class looked damn good.
That's good.
Class,
It's
class of '69. Yeah,
what do you owe that to? Do you think clean living?
I rather doubt that.
Good whiskey.
More along that line.
Yeah, I'm not. I've been very hesitant to go to the high school reunions,
Why?
but
Where'd you grow up?
yeah, I grew up in Queens, in New
Yeah, so
York.
you went to a big high school.
It was big. It was big. I still
Was
have friends. I have my friends, but I guess I feel like, those are the people that I kind of, I don't know. I have a thing about, the other thing is I still, after 50 years, have close relationships with my summer camp community,
well
which was
that
very
that's
special.
very New York.
Yeah,
That
that's very
happened.
true.
That was very. I mean, a lot of men I know are still friends with their summer camp people. One of my
Yeah,
best friends, Jamie, he still knows his friends from summer camp.
yeah. No, it is very, very. I think you're right. It's a Northeast
It is.
thing. Yeah, yeah.
And in
Uncle.
Texas, if you had money, you went to summer camp. Uh, I went one year, don't know, and
Was it a sleepaway?
oh yeah, Rocky River Ranch. We slept in covered wagons.
That's fantastic. I did sleep in a lean-to for a couple of the summers, but most of the time it was your typical cabin. But I think you'll appreciate the name of my summer camp. It's called Camp Thoreau. So
Thoreau.
to give you an idea of the politics and the
Oh
people that
yeah.
were there,
Where was it? In the Catskills or?
yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. It was not on Ulster County, but then
Also,
actually the camp went up to Vermont. It's a long story, which I guess we should save for another day. But I went back when I was a camp counselor. It was up in Vermont, but so that was beautiful up there.
oh, beautiful.
But yes, it was in the Catskills when I was growing up, and actually was a big reason why when I left the city this summer, and when I talked to you last time for Blow the Man Down, I was still in the city, and
We
I've
were.
since left.
Now, had it already started? Were we already shut down then?
Yeah,
That's what I thought. I remember talking to you from my bedroom.
yeah, and I had brought
Um,
up this. Let's keep an eye on the time. I don't know. I want to. You might have another thing right afterwards. So, um, but
I
and I
haven't.
had brought up that film you did in Brooklyn years ago. So just so maybe you remember that. Um, anyway,
What movie
Uncle,
was that?
it was the one where I should have prepared a little bit more because I'm forgetting it. And you were. It was in that little micro cinema where the bar and the restaurant, and then you went in.
Oh,
You remember?
Scalene. Yes, you brought it up.
Aileen.
That's right.
Thank you. Yeah,
That's right.
I forgot last time, and I forgot this, even though you were there for the Q&A, and it's why I came. For God's sake! So
How
I gotta
wild was
remember.
that?
Yeah, but Uncle Frank is the name of the film. Margo Martindale is one of the characters, or rather, one of the actors in the film. It's a stellar cast. Didn't write down the date it's released on my cheat sheet here, but
I
again,
think it's I think it's November 25th, but I could be wrong.
oh, we have somebody listening. Thank you, Michelle. I didn't realize I should have realized she's
What did
on
you
here too.
say?
I hid people that are not on video. Thank you, Michelle. It's premiering November 25th, and I'm going to urge everybody to see this film. It really is satisfying on every level, and it's got one of the best casts of any film I've seen in a really long time.
It's
Um,
very. I believe people will embrace this movie.
Absolutely, and I think
I
it's going to continue. Please, I'm interrupting you.
I said I certainly embraced it, and it really moved me.
Did you get it when you would you watch? Did you watch it like since it's been completely finished production? Did you have a
I
chance?
think so. I'm not certain. It was a while back. Alan sent it to me, and
Okay.
who knows? I think it was finished. My husband really
Right.
loved it. too. He just loved it. And he's a hard critic on things.
I bet. Oh, that's good though, right? For you,
Yeah.
right? He'll
Yeah.
tell you the truth, right? He's that's excellent.
Yeah,
Um,
kind.
did it have any chance to? Did it have an opportunity to hit festivals? Because I don't remember
I think,
seeing.
yeah, I believe it won at a festival
Here
in
comes.
Italy. Uh, maybe Michelle can tell us that.
Yeah, Michelle, chime in again. Regardless, it's certainly Alan Ball doesn't have to do the festival circuit with a film because he can get a
Yeah,
film
it was
green.
at Sundance too. Yes, it was.
Oh,
That's where it premiered at Sundance, and it was bought at Sundance
very
by.
good.
Yeah.
And it premieres November 25th, and I'm so grateful that to have the opportunity to talk with you again about the film, and just and kind of connect with you. It's a delight. It really is.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. I'll keep asking if you keep coming on.
Okay, please do.
I will.
And
All right.
I
Thanks,
enjoy
Margo.
seeing you
Really,
because you're awfully cute.
I'm cute. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm 57. I'm really working
Oh,
on the
well,
cute.
wow. You look like a child, except you have a gray beard.
Yeah. So maybe that's the signal to shave.
I think that you could get away with 40 if you cut that off.
Alrighty. I'm gonna take your advice. I'm trying to find. I just want to just again.
Oh, well,
thank you for everything, and
very
really
much.
appreciate it.
I do have a dialect lesson in just a few
And
minutes.
I might come to your next high school reunion. I just might.
Okay. Hey, yeah, and it would be kind of dreamy to have you as my date.
It's in the books.
Okay.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Good
Happy
luck with the film too. Thank you. You too.